Hello and welcome everyone back to yet another episode of Red Cape Sports. My name is Bird Bouchard, so excited to be back here. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing bargain pickups, at least what I believe, for the Euros 2021. Obviously, this tournament did get postponed, but regardless, today I'm going to be looking over all the group stages, and we're going to be trying at least to identify some bargain pickups. Now, of course, take that with a grain of salt. The word bargain can be loosely translated or interpreted. However, we're going to try to keep these cards, let's say, under $100, so to speak. And again, bargains, these are cards that maybe not all of them are going to be fantastic buys, fantastic pickups, but I do believe that the price is right. And if you guys do your own research, this is not financial advice. These are just cards that I want to point out to let you all know that, hey, you know what, there potentially could be a buying opportunity here. So jumping into it with Group A, I'm on UEFA.com. This group stage, I just want to flat out and come and say, other than a few guys here, Wales, I don't think that they can realistically take that. Turkey has been playing some pretty good soccer, or football as they call it. Switzerland, I don't really think that they'll get there. But Italy, let's just come out and say it. I believe that Italy is going to take that group stage quite easily and move on. Now, with that being said, is there anyone from Italy that I would be investing in? Anyone that I believe could be a pretty good pickup? There's actually two guys that come to mind. So the first here is Chiesa. Pardon me if I'm butchering that name, but Federico is quite the footballer. And look at these prices here on COMC. Rated rookies. If you just want the papers, this is what they're going for. Obviously, these card prices are in American dollars, but $6.25. If you want to press proof silver, $15. Optic, less than $20. So I do believe that obviously, Italy, they're going to be looking to lean on someone. So this youngster, if Italy does go far, I do believe that he'll net a few goals. And in my opinion, the price is right there. So Chiesa is going to be the first option. Moving on to the another one. I'm a big fan. I gotta say, I'm a pretty big fan of Immobile. Obviously in Serie A, this man's pretty good, with Lazio, tends to find in the back of the net. And again, I think it's fair to say that Italy, they're going to have to score goals if they want to win. Maybe they won't be scoring them at ridiculous rates like some of these other top teams. But regardless, if they do want to win, can't just be banking on draws and 0-0. And Immobile, I'm a big fan of him, 30 years old, maybe not the youngest of the guy, but this is the guy who tends to find in the back of the net. Again, even a little bit of arbitrage here. So that's one of the cards I'd be looking at. Doesn't really have too many rookie cards, so to speak. But regardless, Immobile would be my first choice. Alright guys, so moving on now to Group B. This is where things do get a little bit more interesting. Russia, maybe not the greatest. Finland, I don't see them beating Belgium. Denmark's pretty good too, but ultimately, Belgium should win this group stage fairly easily. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee or it's a lock, but it's a guarantee and it's a lock. Belgium's pretty deep, and as you guys know, probably one of the best footballers in the world right now is Kevin De Bruyne. Big fan of him. No matter who he plays for, whether it be City or whether it be Belgium, the teams like to play through him. A lot of people are kind of lobbying for him to even win the Ballon d'Or, and it very well could happen. But there's a specific card that I want to mention here. Let's see if I can find it. So just bear with me here. There we are. The 2017-2018 Topps Chrome UEFA Champions League card. It's pretty cheap, $8-ish. And the reason why I like this is not just because De Bruyne is a great player, but Man City, they made a pretty deep run in the Champions League. And I believe Belgium can also make a pretty deep run here in the Euros. Pardon me. So it's not just you know, that card that I showed there. There's tons of other cards here. You know, there's refractor versions, there's sticker versions. Pardon me as I scroll up here. We'll just add RC um, as it loads here. So yeah, even if you know if you're looking for other versions like this, there's tons. And there's also, pardon me, there's also his selects. And again, all these cards can be found, you know, over on ComC. So you guys can see here, tons of cards. Obviously, do your research into what's a rookie, what's not, which cards are sought after. These 2016 selects tend to do pretty well as well. So, you know, $15.45. So that's option number one. Option number two, and I know that a lot of people might not realistically like this one, because Eden Hazard hasn't, you know, played the greatest football or greatest soccer for quite some time now. However, the thing with Eden Hazard is it seems like every time that he puts on his country's colors, you know, the man just performs. And you guys can see right here that some of his cards they're quite cheap, you know. And that's just it, you know. De Bruyne, as great as he is, whether or not he can, you know, score the goals, or the guy that I'm going to be mentioning next in Romelu Lukaku, you know, regardless to say, the price can be found quite low here for Eden Hazard. So if Hazard does, you know, perform or even have a big goal, as you guys can see here, some of those prices are quite low. So Eden Hazard, you know, I'd be taking a chance on him. And the third guy who I would be taking a chance on, as this loads up here, is going to be Romelu Lukaku. Big fan of Lukaku. You know, this is the man who just does ridiculous things. We saw what he was capable of doing at the World Cup. You know, he just finds the back of the net. Like, I'm a big fan of Lukaku. I know that a lot of people don't really like his ego. You know, tends to show up his teammates sometimes when they don't pass him the ball. So you guys can even see here, Prism World Cup card. So obviously, you know, I'm not going to tell you guys which specific cards. Obviously, do the research there on your end. But as you guys can see here, there are some pretty nice, you know, orange wave prism color variations. All right, guys, so moving on to the next stage. Right here, we have Group C. And this one's quite interesting, you know, but I will come out and say it, Ukraine, I do not believe that they will, you know, win this group stage, neither with, you know, North Macedonia. Austria, obviously, they're decent, they're not terrible. Potentially, I do see them moving on at least, you know, with the top two teams, pardon me, moving on. There are some pretty good options here that I want to dive right into. And the first being Memphis Depay. So, naturally, you know, Van Persie, Arjen Robben, there's a lot of key guys over on this Dutch Holland team that aren't going to be here. But Memphis Depay is a guy who, you know, ever since he came into the Premier League with United, he's found the back of the net. And if someone's going to lead this team to, you know, winning the group stage, I feel like Memphis Depay is going to put the ball in the back of the net. So, I mean, some of his rookies here, $8.99, $9, you know, there's obviously a lot of different variations and different cards there. But like I said, Memphis Depay, at least in my opinion, he's a pretty good buy right now, all things considered. As you guys can see there, pardon me, $11.25 for a rookie of Memphis Depay, so not too shabby there. And then the next guy, who I believe doesn't get enough credit, is going to be Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong, you know, this is the man who plays a lot of minutes for Barcelona, a man who knows how to win. And again, you know, I truthfully believe that if Holland and the Netherlands, if they're going to do anything, you know, Frenkie de Jong will have to be a pretty major role in that, you know, specifically at his position of midfielder. So Frenkie de Jong, big fan of that, you know, variation, as you guys can see him here. Nameplate, that's a rookie card, less than $5. So yeah, big fan of him. Obviously, there's some chronicles, things like that. Comsi has to do a better job at filtering these cards than when you put rookie card next to them. But regardless, Holland, I do believe that they will take this group stage, and those are the two top buys from that group stage that I would at least be considering. All right, guys. So moving on right now to Group D. This is where the competition, that I believe tends to kind of get a little bit more difficult. But regardless, no disrespect to Croatia, the Czech Republic, or even Scotland. Scotland's making their first appearance in this for quite some time. But, I think we'll all be fooling ourselves if we say that England's not the favorite to win this group stage. And for that reason, we're going to be jumping into England and some pickups that you can make there. Now, obviously, you can pick up almost any of their strikers. The list goes on and on and on. Even Bukayo Saka, shout out to Mike Gunner. He made the list of 33 players. Whether or not he actually makes the list of 26 players is still to be seen. But even guys like Mason Greenwood, there's a ton of options out on England. However, we're going to go with the top 3 here. And in my opinion, one of the most underrated soccer players in the world right now, in Harry Kane. Harry Kane does it all. This is probably the biggest card that I would be targeting here. His 2016 Panini Prism UEFA Euro, $26.75. Listen, this is the man that won the Golden Boot. He's assisting like crazy too. Now, obviously, the argument against him is that he can't win a trophy, but and I get it. England at the international stage, there's a lot to be said about them, and what their managers are doing and who they play, who they don't play. I know that a lot of people were shocked with some moves that were made. However, England up front, and I mean from the attacking midfield position and their forwards and their strikers. Listen, there's a lot of talent there. Lot of talent to go around, and Harry Kane is, I don't want to say he's a proven winner because obviously he hasn't really done that, but at the end of the day, Harry Kane, finds the back of the net, or at least finds the man's foot that then finds at the back of the net. So Harry Kane, I'm a big fan of, so that's a first option over on England. Now, here's another man that I'm shocked at how much his card prices dipped. Obviously, he didn't have the greatest season, but Jadon Sancho, and this is just it. This card at one point was $80 all day. This was like $50 all day. So the rated rookies, obviously, for new people getting into the hobby, that's probably the way to go, just because it's easy to identify that it's a rookie. It's a nice looking card. It's in the nice England kit as well. So Jadon Sancho, I do believe that Jadon Sancho is one of the better young upcoming players. I do believe that he will find the back of the net, and I do believe that he'll get a lot of assist. Like I mentioned previously, there's a lot of good strikers on this England squad, so, if Jadon Sancho doesn't find the back of the net, you better be damn sure that he's at least going to find his teammates to score. So that's option number 2. And the last guy that I want to mention here on this phenomenal squad, this kid is young, but I do believe that his card prices are still quite undervalued now. So yeah, Phil Foden, there's a Premier League card. I would probably look into the rated rookies. I'm not quite sure what his optic is going for. Maybe stay off from the optic, but then again, you got to look further than just the Euros. There's a good chance for him to go pretty far in the Euros, but also with Man City, and look further than just this year. Look into the World Cup, look into the fact that he is playing for Man City, that Man City is going to win a lot of trophies. So yeah, that's the third option. I'm going to call them the big 3 out in England, but regardless, those are going to be 3 buys over in that group stage. Alright guys, so this is where things get extremely interesting here out in Group E. There's a lot of talent here. Now, let's just start off and say Slovakia, sorry, no disrespect. Good luck moving on. It'll be really tough. And trust me, I'm well aware, that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is not going to be participating in this tournament. But Sweden, there's one guy that I do like on Sweden. Now, I'm not saying that they'll even advance into the next stage here, because I do believe that Spain is going to take this. And Poland, you know, obviously they have probably the best goal scorer in the world in Robin Lewandowski. However, uh, over on the Sweden side of things, you know, they got a kid that I like quite a bit here. So we're gonna be looking into Isaac, Alexander Isaac. So as we pull him up here, you know, here's a card that came out not too long ago. Pardon me. So yeah, this kid is, in my opinion, one of the most overlooked. You know, he's found the back of the net a lot of times in a very short span of games. And again, easy to see. And it's even got the Euro 2020 logo. So Alexander Isaac, or Isaac, however you want to pronounce that. Pardon me for butchering that if I did. However, under $20, you pick that up on COMC all day. He's also got a nice Chronicles, you know, under $20 all day. Also with the rookie card logo. So, you know, if anyone's worried that, you know, trying to sell these to people just getting into the market who maybe aren't as familiar with the soccer card market, you know, those are cards that I would be eyeing. So also looking into this, as I mentioned, Poland, do I think that they have a legit chance at winning the whole thing? Definitely not. The group stage? Potentially. And the reason for that, Robin Lewandowski, you know, arguably speaking, like I mentioned previously, you know, the best goal scorer in the world. This man is, he's a thing of beauty. Like, I don't know how many times that he just continues to score 30 goals in like 37 matches. Sometimes he's even averaging more than one goal a game. Just ridiculous stuff that he's capable of doing. Actually, I do want to put RC on this one. But as you guys can see, for Lewandowski, you know, here's a rookie card, so to speak. You know, under $30 all day, under $25 for a nice select. Also in the same Poland kit. So, you know, Lewandowski, let's say he just goes off and has a hat trick. Well, we know how the market reacts to big performances. So that $22 investment could very well go up and up. So, again, not saying that you should go out and buy him, but these are just, you know, to get ideas flowing. All right, so as I mentioned previously, I do believe that Spain is going to win this group stage. And some of the players that I would be, you know, looking to invest in over on Spain. And I'm actually going to bring it up on eBay because I believe for this card that you can actually find them for a little bit of a better price. But Pedri, you know, I believe Pedri is a phenomenal young player. So as we can see here, maybe just type in rookie card. But here we go. You know, there's tons of Pedri cards. You know, here. We'll filter it by sold listings, and you guys can see $20 there. So yeah, there's tons of Pedri cards. But if you guys do want to spend the big bucks, this is the card that I would suggest getting. And I'll actually bring it up here over on COMC just so that you guys can potentially get a clearer picture. So yeah, this is arguably speaking the Pedri card that I would be looking into investing in. And as you guys can see there, rookie card logo of Tops Now with Messi in the background. And that's arguably speaking why I like this card so much. But regardless, you know, Pedri's a really fun player to watch, so young. So I'm a pretty big fan of him. There we go. All right, guys. So next up we have none other than Mikel Oyarzabal. Honestly, look at this. You know, these rookie cards of contenders tend to sell pretty well. It's pretty cheap right now, you know, and this is a man who, in my opinion, has one of the better balances, you know, in between finding the back of the net and getting a lot of assists. And, you know, Spain, they're going to score. Spain is going to score a lot of goals, and I'm a big fan of Mikel Oyarzabal. You know, even this ticket here, gotta love it. You know, beautiful cards here. All right, guys, so moving into the final stage here, Group F. It's not even, arguably speaking, this is going to be the the toughest division, or pardon me, the toughest group stage to get out of, as we have France, literally, you know, the World Cup champion Germany. They're tough every single year, and Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo, among others. So the thing with that is Hungary, sorry, you don't stand a chance. But regardless, we'll jump into you know, the team that I believe will finish third in Portugal, even though Cristiano Ronaldo is looking to defend his Euro title. Now, guys that I like, let's start it off right here with Joao Felix. You know, big fan of this man. And the card, pardon me, big fan of him, however, and, you know, the market tends to love this guy too, for very good reasons. So I do want to scroll down and find it here. So yeah, right here is 2018-2019 UEFA Champions League. $80 raw ungraded, sure, however. But this is the card that, you know, definitely does have the potential of reaching, you know, $120, $150 again. So, you know, some people are already wanting to snag 130 for it. So next up, obviously looking at the standings here, oops, I'll scroll down. Germany, you know, perennial powerhouse. And obviously there's so many guys on Germany that, you know, I do believe could be fairly good investments. But the one who has dipped a significant amount is Timo Werner. Timo Werner, you know, these cards at one point were $50 raw. You guys can see right here, they're $16 now. You know, even these Donruss, this is a press-proof green. Like, these cards have just dropped tremendously. And rightfully so, you know. I mean, obviously there's a lot of hype around him going to Chelsea. And even though Chelsea has gone far, like, he's not finding the back of the net. Tough to do that sometimes when you're on the bench. But regardless, Timo Werner, if you're going to invest in anyone on that Germany team, he would be the guy. And obviously, no surprise to basically anyone, the team that I believe that will at least move on, whether or not they actually win this group stage, is going to be France. France is just perennial powerhouse. And of course, they have one of, if not the greatest strikers in the world now, in Kylian Mbappe. You guys can see here, these are some cards that, you know, I really like these 2018-2019 Panini Donruss base cards. You know, this is the one in the PSG kit. You know, perhaps because it's the Euros, you know, you can find the other variation in his national kit. So I do like that card very much. And his sticker card, specifically this one here, I love. And this one here, again, over in his national kit. Love those two cards from 2018. And when it comes to France, those would be the two cards that I'd look into buying. Alright guys, so that does it here for me. I hope that you all enjoyed that breakdown of all the group stages, who I do believe will eventually move on, and which card prices can be had for some decent bargain prices. If I missed anyone, let me know down below in the comments section. If you guys agree with anyone, also let me know by leaving a big thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. And last but certainly not least, kindly remind you all that we do have a free Facebook page that's at Red Cape Sports. There you can take pictures of your favorite sports cards, take pictures of cards that you're looking for. Really good community currently as of the making of this video. We do have over 600 members in that group. So again, if you guys are looking to get into a fun Facebook group free of charge, definitely go check us out at Red Cape Sports. But until next time, take care guys.